This piece consists mostly of 2 beats on a down bow and 2 beats on an up bow. If we play them without phrasing, it will be accurate but without much interest, and it'll be a little bit dull. So it's useful to vary the amount of bow all the way through. So writing in little crescendos and diminuendos all the time to give it shape really makes a huge difference. So you could see I was trying to vary where in the bow I was and how much I was using the whole time. As a way of practicing that, sometimes it's useful if we as teachers play the tune and our students just play an open string to go with it. So perhaps play an open G with it, and then it would sound like this. And you can see once they've got the hang of that, then it's the next stage is to still do open strings, but to do like the right open strings. So this piece, the suggested fingering is to start in third position on the A string. So we would play open A to start with, and then obviously when the fingers move to the E string, our bow needs to move there as well. But to practice it without any fingers is really useful, like this. And then you can see that once we add the fingers, and we might have to do them plucking or separate bows until we've got them really secure and in tune. The emphasis should always be on the right hand, because of course the left hand just changes pitch and maybe adds a bit of vibrato at some stage, but the right hand does all the interesting things and all the artistry. So when we add them together, it should be something like this. So it always has shape. In bar 9, we have quavers and then a minim. And on that minim, the piano has a rest. So for these next 4 bars, it's really worth the student knowing they just need to play and keep moving, because if they don't hear any piano, the temptation is just to wait for it. And you can see I did some short phrases and then some very long ones. So that last diminuendo, I used less and less bow as I went through that phrase. Later on in the piece, there's some semiquavers, and they need to be quite tight. There's always a temptation to make them slightly like triplets, so they need to stay quite tight, like this. And then at the top of the second page, there's a rall going into the a tempo with a nice change from the E string to the A string, which gives a really nice effect, like this. And in that change from the A to the E string, it's useful not to get right to the heel, because it's quite awkward to do things at the heavy part of the bow. So on the up bow, save the bow here, and just make it very light. And again, one little tip there is to tilt the bow a little bit more so we're on fewer hairs, just the side of the bow with the stick pointing away. Sometimes it's useful to imagine a balloon, like a helium balloon, under our right arm, so we feel we've got something to sit on and support our arm rather than having to hold it up from the shoulder. So just relaxing, but just sitting on something very, very, very comfortable. At the end, that's the one long bow we have. So again, playing it very relaxed, getting quieter and quieter so that the phrase just fades out. And of course, to do that, tilting more and more and going slowly. So it's useful to start with a fast bow and then go slow.